What's going on, guys? We are live with episode 20. 20. We made it. Give it up one time.
Vente?
This is, Vente? Did you go Spanish?
Vente?
A little bit of Spanish there.
Gasolina! Know what I'm talking about? 20, man. I want to do a 20 intro. I want to do the regular intro. I'm going to introduce these two brothers who have carried the weight, carried the strength, carried the time it takes to be here for y'all and deliver for y'all week in, week out. Only took like one break. You know how it be sometimes. You know how it be.
Sometimes the internet cut out while you're drinking.
Yeah. You know, they have your internet cutting out, but they come through every time for you. It's the incomparable Marcus Esports Howard, and the unsolvable, the incredible Mr. Dope Work himself, Derek of High Point Gamer. Who, we're going to do two things tonight. Of course, we're going to run the announcement at the end for people who don't know what to do when they get into a High Point Gaming situation. We got something for you. But first, I just want to congratulate you on your new deal that you just struck with your first major partner, like influencer. Please tell the world more, and I need to give you a slow clap.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hit the air horn.
Bring you a slow clap. I want to give
first of all, thank you for the lovely intro. Sebastian Burton has been flagshipping
shot that firework for you. Did you hear that?
Shout out to Red, who's not able to make it this week on our 20th. Hope everyone's enjoying their July 4th weekend. Like Sebastian said, we have some good news as far as
High Point Gamer.
Everyone knows about the NCAA. They changed the rule to the NIL
image, likeness,
license, image and likeness.
Likeness.
And my initial thoughts, if anyone's seen my LinkedIn post on it, was that, hey, this sounds like a great economic empowerment opportunity that we all should be excited about. And initially, I thought the same thing. I was like, yes, more economic empowerment. These guys can make money, because I have friends, I have peers of where they went to school based on their athletic ability,
right?
Got to college, free ride,
right?
But they were really going around the dorm rooms starving. Like their clothes were raggedy, they were starving, but they were superstars on the fields and selling jerseys
Chris
and
Webber
filling
said
up.
He walked by his jersey and was eating ramen.
Right.
He walked by his jersey in the store and was going home and heating up oodles and noodles.
And the real world of that is those athletes that might get lucky because they're paired with, say, another white kid who then comes from a rich family who gets to be their friend, and that's the person that's paying for their meal every time they go out and taking them to the parties for them to drink on is that person's tab. Like, he's been assigned to almost like the athletic comforter, right? And so in order for these athletes now to have the ability where they can use their likeness and their fame and their stardom to generate revenue, like, I thought, yeah, that's an awesome thing. But then you think about the real landscape of what it's like to actually go to college. The world of going to college is you're not seeing a bunch of U's. Like, if you're coming from an environment where low income struggling, you're not going to go to college and come around low income struggling from a mindset of who's ever able to understand your situation.
Right.
And thus they're going to have free pickings to then pick which superstars that I have to put my claws in as an agent standpoint, and I make money off of them. No different on how sports works now. So that's a tad bit alarming, but that doesn't void the opportunity for guys like us to come in this space with authenticity, with real life experience, true background and color of living, with melanin in our skin, et cetera, the transition to then be able to guide the next generation through their journey, even if it's in traditional sports. Because the beautiful thing about gaming that we've been saying the whole time is that it's inclusive. Like, anybody can participate or glow off of it, right? So for an athlete to recognize that, hey, he plays game in Mario, shout out to Mario, the loot runner, He plays Warzone. He's like, man, he's good. He plays video games, and most of his crew plays video games. So it makes perfect sense to then tie him in and help enhance his brand. And he's a Florida boy. So, like shout out to Tampa Bay, which are Champa Bay right now. So
Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Never stops.
So let's get that Stanley Cup tomorrow.
Never stops with this.
Exciting time.
Just kidding. One time.
I can't wait to see what we can do together.
You know what? The way y'all forced me to celebrate Tampa Bay, Connecticut is real good at girls basketball. So when we take another championship, y'all better be rooting up for Connecticut too, all right?
Got you.
Real Tampa Bay air in here. No, but that's a really dope story, and so you made it happen so fast. So it makes sense that you connected with this influencer, this wide receiver. He's the #1 recruit currently in the country. Is that right? Number one wide receiver recruit in the country. That's incredible.
So there was definitely no speed in it. Like this actually speaks to the real work that me and Marcus are doing in the community to really tap into those that need other opportunities, like into gaming and to be a thought leader in that. So to the work that we've done for 5 years now, or 4 or 5 years, allows us to be the expertise that someone like a Mario can go to say, hey, help guide what I can do in this space, not just as my brand as an athlete, but me as a man growing up to be a man. You know what I mean? Like it's more to it than just getting deals and sponsorship. It's about having people in your corner that can say, hey, you tripping? Like, I don't know what you're doing with this, or maybe you should think about this, or hey, I have this connection over here that can plug you into some financial literacy. Oh, I have some legal representation that can help you out here. Here's somebody that can look at your books on this side. And that adds real value, because in order to be an entrepreneur in this space from a brand standpoint, whether traditional athlete or esports and gaming, you have to recognize you need to build a team that you can trust to a certain extent, that allows you to, one, relax a little bit and focus on what you're good at, but also learn and practice what you're not good at by watching those around you that are helping you build your thing. And that's true unity within the community that we need to show. We say, hey, we need more unity in the community, and people think let's hold hands and walk down together and march and sing in a song. But no, it's when someone has an opportunity, how can my opportunity, skills, and abilities plug in with theirs to help enhance their opportunities? And thus we create a chain and a true pipeline of opportunities to plug in other opportunities, man.
That's a gem.
Yeah, please. And it's generational how you're thinking, and esports is the great equalizer, and I'm really glad to see that.
Now, what's the downside of esports and gaming when it comes to that popularity, though? What's the downside? And I know we've seen it recently. The downside of using that power for what? Is it bad?
It can be.
It can be.
Let's ask Fazed Clan.
It's time to talk. It's time to talk about Fazed Clan, man. Y'all. We try to let you live. That's the thing. That's what it be. I just gotta let y'all know, okay?
20 episodes. 19 episodes.
We try to let you live. But now you messing the game all up. You messing the game up for people like Derek and High Point Gamer. You're messing the game up. Because what's happening is you're making consumers lose trust in esports. You're making them think that all y'all is just, we all behave in the way that y'all continuously behave. Continuously. Marcus, I'll let you bring in, but we all gonna have opinions. It's gonna be a round table after this. But Marcus, basically, because you're a crypto expert, break down what FaZe Clan did with this Save the Kids coin, and talk about the after effects and how many people that really reached, and just break down the whole situation for us.
Sure. And there's a great video on YouTube. I sent it to both of you, and I encourage everybody to go check that out. But at a high level, what happened was that, let me rephrase this statement because our lawyer's not here, so I want to make sure that I stay within bounds. Allegedly, Faze Kay was part of a group of influencers that promoted this initial coin offering, which is kind of like an initial public offering for stock, but for a cryptocurrency, to raise money to support charities. It was called the Save the Kids. The organization was called Save the Kids, and the crypto was called $Kids. But what allegedly happened, even though they were promoting that there was going to be a long-term play, that they were in it for the long haul, there's all this value to be created, that no one could go in and make these scams, was that someone at the last minute changed the code so that it was, instead of preventing scams, it enabled scams. And allegedly, Faze Kay, several of the members of Fazed Clan, and these influencers who collectively have an outreach of 50 million people, waited until their fans bought into this cryptocurrency, and then they immediately started selling their own crypto. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go look at the price of the crypto, watch it launch, and then dip down like 50%. So they got in early. They used their audience allegedly to raise the price, and then they sold it at the peak. So they made profit and essentially scammed their audience.
The old switcheroo. The old switcheroo. They hit them with the old switcheroo. Now, that goes to lead me to the question, who is their audience? You see what I'm saying? Who is their audience? That leads me right to the question, like, who is it? Is it random people? Or is it people who watch their content and follow them? People who watch their content and follow them, right? So
right.
What do they claim to be? What last week on SportsCenter were they claiming to be? An esports and gaming team, right? Fazed Clan.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
Right on Sports Illustrated. Yeah.
Esports gaming, content creation. That's what they do. It's gaming, it's esports. We're seeing less and less of the gaming. We're seeing more and more of regular live life stuff. We're not seeing the best anymore. It's not about being the best. This is what we tried to warn you about. What was it, 17, 16? So we were talking about on the episodes of E4L. This is what it'd be like. It's like, to me, just observing what you said. They had the company change the source code. And to further your point, Faze Kay specifically, this isn't his first one.
Yeah.
The dude Faze Kay has been doing this to his fans, these esports kids. Kids turn to adults. They're going to remember this about esports and video games. They're going to remember this. This whole thing is being shaped up off of the behaviors that people are seeing now. People are invested in this company, and now they're finding out that their players are doing less playing and more scamming.
More scamming.
More scamming.
Well, it's not even just the kids, right? It's the
scamming.
kids' parents, right? If you go and little Jimmy, spends $1,000 because he thinks he's going to make $2,000 and he lost his money or his parents' money. His parents, my age or older, probably my parents' age, you're talking about executives at various brands and community leaders and people of influence now know about this and attach this to esports. So it screws up the game for all of us, the entire ecosystem.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really just, it makes me wonder.
So I'm gonna play Gemini on this one a little bit.
Okay.
So I understand from an industry standpoint the impact of like, wow, this is kind of messed up. But the gamer in me recognized that, hey, if I'm trying to get to level 99 and there's a way I got to press up, up, down, down, left, right, select, start, and I got all the jewels to cheat the system and beat the system in order to get whatever I consider success, I think we all have been guilty of that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Now applying it to real life where you impact real people, is that what makes it
they
horrible at that point,
their
man?
fans.
Huh?
Derek is right. And you know what we call that when you do it in real life? A jack move. You hit him with a jack move.
Panic boom!
You ever get trapped in the corner against Guile?
Panic boom!
You ever been there, stuck? Oh no, I got one more hit left.
Panic boom!
Oh, even with chip damage. Oh.
Panic boom!
He's hitting me. Oh, that's what they was doing to their bank accounts. All them kids' crypto wallets. Oh, save the children. Save the children. And then, of course, what I see of what you're saying, the jack move, like basically in a game, right? You play it smart so that you find the easiest way to hack the system, whether that's one player, multiplayer, whatever. I get what you're saying, D, and then you apply that in real life. In real life, why it's foul is because, like you said, there's real consequences. There's real people's real money. And they just jack them. And then look, the thing that makes it the craziest, why you're right about it being a hack is, as much as I've read and I've heard about it, I don't hear nobody having to pay nobody back. It's like
Well, it's early, right?
Huh?
It's early, right?
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's early, but that's the way crypto is designed, right? Two things. One, crypto blockchain, and if you missed the one-on-one, we're going to have a one-on-one follow-up from episode 3. Blockchain transactions are immutable, permanent, right? And they're also transparent, which is why CoffeeZilla was able to go point back to allegedly Faze Kay and say he was a part of it, because every Bitcoin is 12 years old. And you can literally go on the internet right now and see every single transaction publicly available. All of it's publicly available for the last 12 years. So he just basically walked down, followed the breadcrumbs and got all the information that he shared in the video.
I mean, it all made sense to me. I saw that video. If you guys didn't see the video, like Kai Bahu, I see you on Twitch. You're like, if you guys didn't see the video, I would have cut a piece of that because it's like a 35-minute video. But I'll give you guys the links in all your chats. I highly suggest you watch the video because it breaks down what they've done with the token. But essentially, to recap what Marcus said, I'm going to just give it to you the layman's way. Marcus is the crypto genius. I'm giving it to you the layman's way. I talk more like Free the Dope Boys. You know what I'm talking about? Now, here's what really happened. It's the old classic bait and switch. And you know what else, Marcus? It's time to do this live. I've been telling you about this, right? I've been telling you. When people come to you on the street, someone's going to come to you and the first thing they do is add value to whatever is in their hand. They add value to it. This isn't a pen. This is the only way you're going to be able to sign this $1 million check that'll be here tomorrow. So what you should do is give me money now. And then it'll turn to $1 million for you tomorrow. It's the oldest one in the book. If they had a book, this is on the first page, what I just did with you, right? Crypto is in that state right now. All right? I know there's deeper things about ledgers and blockchain and the way the technology is applied, but I'm talking about in our society. For all you kids who got caught now, if nobody else is listening, what happened to you? Some refer to it as a pump and dump when we're talking about crypto and stock change, because this is all the crypto thing is. It reflects the stock market, right? How shit gets hot, then stuff falls off, and you're trying to make, the gap. You're trying to make money in the gap.
You saw with GameStop, right? AMC.
They forced it with GameStop, right? So all that's happened to you is you as a community got smart on the old heads doing Wall Street, right, and all that. You got real smart on them and started setting up pump and dumps with GameStop, okay? Fazed Clan, Faze Kay at least, Faze Kay, Faze Jarvis, and another one. They, not their first time, but this time, got caught saying, damn, everybody believes in the pump and dump thing now. Dogecoin, GameStop. Ooh, we can move things by tweeting this, that, third. And you can. So they built a coin. Then they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to push the coin between all of us. That's 30, 40, 50 million people. And then we're going to get everybody to buy it because we're going to make it a hot coin. Meanwhile, you're talking about making something a currency. Save the Kids coin. They literally tapped into your wishes for bettering the human world. They tapped into it and then bait and switched you. I'm from Connecticut, and P.T. Barnum and Bailey is from Connecticut. And the number one slogan of P.T. Barnum and Bailey was there's a sucker born every day. Okay? So it's a very Connecticut thing of me to feel bad for everybody caught in this because that is a sucker move that happened to you. But this is what we do Eat for Life for, so you can start logically thinking like, so this coin comes out.
But isn't everything that, though?
Say it again?
Isn't everything that, when it comes down to it? Isn't everything a pump and dump?
Yes, but you know about it. They dupe.
No.
They dupe.
So, hey, a lot of us been duped for years. Don't act like this because you're smart now, my brother.
No.
There's some pump and dumps that's been dumped on us back when we were a little ignorant to how stuff worked. Think of how many people are in homes right now with mortgages and stuff, thinking that having a home was the American dream, only to realize that the system was screwing you to get trapped inside this place that you'd end up hating within 5 years, not even close to the 30-year on that mortgage.
You right.
Or get into the degree. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the degree
Right.
is
The
the
whole
same
higher
thing. It is.
education system.
Yes.
But here's the deal: all of those have something, at least something. If you
There's something of real value there.
If you go get a degree at Full Sail, it don't gonna make you work in the video game industry. But that's how they market it.
Right.
So you
Right.
still gotta pay them 20, 30 grand, right? But
Right.
in the end of the day, you could get a job in the gaming industry. What this token? Marcus, I don't know if you said this already. They deleted the tweets after it came out.
They took down the
Everybody
website. I went to the
woke up
website
and
the
said,
other day.
"Woo! About
The
to
website's
support.
gone.
I'm about to support, save the kids. Let me just sat down. Let me turn on the save some kids. What? Ain't no, I know I just clicked the tweet yesterday. I gave him $60. What? Where's my? Then you go to let me go to Coinbase. Let me see how much money I have. Then you go to Coinbase. Worth how much? And that's the end of it. There's no you get a college degree, supposed to get a job. House, supposed to have warmth, shelter. This was you got on, and it was like, yo, we don't know what happened. That's the worst kind of.
But what do they say? There's no L's in life, only lessons.
Lesson I'm trying to give y'all here is, boy, he dropped a gem. Let me get the gem. Yeah, he dropped a gem. Say it again.
There's no L's in life. There's lessons. So even if you lost on the pump and dump, you just missed out. Like you realize that, yeah. And the kids that got saved were the kids on the other end of that made up this scam to run it through the way it is so they can run up the points and be successful and win at life the game.
And here's the bugged out part. The real crazy part. These kids is making millions. They live up in the hills. Okay? They live up in the hills. They making millions every month.
They just did a tour of what, a $10 million mansion?
Yeah. $10 million mansion. 20, 25. The oldest ones is 25, 26. They're young. 19, 18, making this kind of money. But money more than most people have made in their lifetimes. And he did this, and guess I heard they made $30,000.
Oh.
Yeah, off of this one.
Why did Derek say it like that?
Sonic Boom!
Oh. Because
Now, I
that's
thought it was a mean come up. I thought it was like a super power up. Like you got a special
because he
move.
said-
And like, you finally got that armor that you've been waiting for in the game. And now you can just
Nope.
No, it's more like Dead Cells where you walk around the corner and get hit by a boulder.
For no reason. For no reason. No viable reason did they do it. They just did it because that's who these players are. They're not players. And that's what I want to say about Sports Illustrated, Sports Center, ESPN, all y'all. Hire somebody to come into this industry and talk to real people and real players. Because this keeps happening because y'all don't do no research. You just do the top line of it. And then you end up shutting departments down because we don't figure it out. But you're not actually digging into what the actual culture is. These kids are not that nice. They're not the nicest. They're not kind of nice. You wouldn't go to Kimbo is about the only Street Fighter we saw go into the UFC. You think he's the nicest Street Fighter of all time? No, but it's a very select few of Street Fighters we can see crossover. Conor McGregor, UFC to boxing. This is the same thing with these streamers trying to be the best in the gaming. And then, what do we have if we don't have a sport in the word esports? What do you have? Like, this started with Ninja. They started, and again, I'm holding ESPN accountable, Esports Observer. I love you guys, but you guys were pushing the brands for the popularity over the actual statistics. Like, these kids aren't that good. So when this channel streams go down or when things go down that they're not making money, look at the behavior. This isn't the first time. We've heard there's been multiple times. That Jarvis kid got suspended for saying the N-word in the past. Where's the culture for that? That's my thing. My thing is look at the people that it's making. I'm well documented for saying Fazed Clan is like culture vultures. They just do it. I don't have a problem. I don't really care because we're going to do what we do regardless. But it's a lot of just look at what's popping and jump on it without actually respecting the game and building the actual culture out. And that's what is going to suffer for everybody who sees this. I hope you know, the tougher it is for you to get a check signed and put across the table, or the tougher it is for consumers to want to buy into your product or show up to your tournament or sign up for your event, or doing it because they're going to think that esports is more of a joke than a serious industry, because look what keeps happening, things like this. So that's my little 5 minutes on it, you know what I'm saying? But I really, for all the people who's involved, I hope they get what's coming. I'm glad Derek said it was early. I hope they get what was coming. Because let me tell you, if it was a brother, whoo, they'll put you under the jail. Under the jail. They'll be like, what happened to him? Oh, you know they buried him under McConnelly prison. Man, what you mean they buried him under? Man, they buried him under it. You're going under the jail if you did something like this. So people should call the SEC.
If that would have been Rick Fox and them, that would have been a problem.
Boy, Echo Box already fell apart fast. It would have been twice as fast. Twice as fast. Twice as fast. But that's why they should be held accountable. They get to play all the cool hip hop culture, the cool, you know, we represent. Man, imagine if a black athlete had done some shit where he scammed a bunch of kids out of their money. The team just kicked them off. That wouldn't be the end of it. That wouldn't be the end of it. And can't nobody find them, because what is esports right now? An open place where they're in all these different leagues that all have their own agenda. And speaking of different leagues with their own agenda, do y'all see what's going on with the Overwatch League?
No, yeah, I wanted to come and hear y'all catch me up on what's going on with that.
So the Overwatch League is currently being investigated by the Department of Justice. Department of Justice. I don't know if I said injustice. NetherRealm said they're done working on Mortal Kombat officially yesterday, so now everything just injustice to me automatically. So, Department of Justice is investigating Overwatch League. And the premise is that Overwatch League basically fines teams for trying to make player salaries over the base salary, which I think is like 50 grand. So they overcharge them, or they hit them with salary cap so that they can't pay them and be more competitive to get players to move, or to get people to stop wanting to stream and come in the league or whatever. But they're Activision Blizzard, one. So they already print money. I mean, World of Warcraft still makes money. I mean, Call of Duty makes money every year. They have money. Money's not an issue. And then they raised money. They have like 10 teams in the league, and everybody had to pay $20 million to be in the league. Okay? So now they raised $1 billion company raised $200 million, and they say that if you pay these players over 50 grand, then we're gonna tax you more. We're gonna tax you more. You can't pay them. So the players, when they sign into the Overwatch League, it's a non-compete. So they can't stream. They've already, they kicked a couple people out for streaming, trying to play other games, things like that. There's been multiple reports of people out of the league with those kind of intentions. So they can't make their money anywhere else. But they can't get any more money and offers from the teams to want to stay on the team. So they either retire or they keep playing Overwatch professionally. And you can't stream Overwatch anywhere else. It has to be all through the league. They have that non-compete with like all third-party companies. You got to pay them a crazy license fee to just like have you in an Overwatch tournament. You have to pay them like a crazy licensing fee. But the players can't make more than $50,000 or else, it's no good. I think it's the perfect time for us to bring in our lawyer, Sean Mendez Catalan, and get him in here to talk about the legalities of some of these things we just discussed. So let's bring Sean in. And I want to hear you guys' opinions on that, basically, now that you have most of the facts.
Yeah, I want to understand how that's different. And like Derek said earlier, I'm a nerd, so I don't know a whole bunch about sports. Are there player caps in traditional sports?
There are.
Or there's salary caps? So, yep. Help me understand the difference between that and esports. And I guess the problem is again, esports trying to be too much like sports when it should be more like the gaming industry. But that's another topic altogether.
Right. Was that directed to me or Sean? I'm sorry.
It was to anyone. I'm just trying to understand, like, we do have, are there salary caps in traditional sports?
There are.
So there are, but it's generally for like the team. So the team will have a particular salary cap. And then there's also the player salary cap. So like each player has a max amount they can be offered in a given year. And usually teams that they were on before have the opportunity to give them the most money compared to any other team.
So
So
basically,
it's not abnormal for traditional sports. That's what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not abnormal. But what is abnormal is the rate. It's just the rate versus what they could be getting paid. Versus what like Overwatch League has made. I mean, this is a $1 billion company. I'm gonna run this again. This is a $1 billion company. This is Apple. This is, you know, the likes of Apple's $1 trillion, but they're in rare air there. I can't compare them anyway. This is Apple. This is Dell. This is HP. This is companies that are 5,000 employee plus $1 billion companies, right? Fortune 5. This is them raising $200 million. New money. They go, oh, you got a huge bank full of money. Don't use that though. Beep, beep. Use this. New money. New money. And then that system is built. And they start taxing people who want to pay players more than what a salary average job plays. So, I mean, Sean, I guess what I'm trying to understand is it legal for players to be like trapped in something like this? Is that what the DOJ is investigating or what?
So it's legal for people to contract how they contract, right? Anything has an ability to contract, but there are limits if a contract is unconscionable. And so what they're probably looking into is whether or not the contracts that they've had are unconscionable. Oh, Sabrina's saying hello.
Oh, Sabrina.
Welcome to the podcast.
Here's everyone.
But yeah, the contracts themselves can be unconscionable. And so, you know, the DOJ is probably investigating whether or not what they are doing rises to that level.
So
do they, what are they going to do? Like compare it to other first person shooter leagues? Because I don't know how true this is, but I heard that players for CSGO sometimes make like $25,000 a month. Maybe that number is not right.
I'm trying to look at it real quick. To my knowledge, I think what they'll probably do is look at, you know, are the salary caps that they are putting in place too stringent? Because while they want to allow for contracts, they also know that for things, especially esports and other things where the league has such control over who can enter and who can play, that they want to limit their ability. Because if someone who's never made any money all of a sudden is at, you know, the esports level and they're offered any amount of money, a lot of times they're just going to sign, right? Because in their mind it's like, oh, this is great. But if you're looking at traditional sports, they don't have that, right? You have a players association, you have all these things where, like, we know if you're in the NBA, you are going to make, at a minimum, if you're a veteran, you're going to make $279,000 usually as a minimum. That might have gone up now.
right.
But there isn't that players association that is like a national thing in esports to allow for people to protect their own interest. And so if you're a new player, you might end up getting something where, like, the team is making millions and you make 10,000, right? And it's like, that's not necessarily fair to the players. And so I'm assuming, and right now there's no regulations in esports. And so
Right.
I am assuming that the DOJ got a complaint from some player who ended up having a terrible contract, but he's probably one of the better players on their team. And so they went to the feds and said, hey, take a look at this. Take a look in esports where they're making millions of dollars, but the players themselves are really not making anything. They're not making as much money as the team is. or the league in and of itself. And so where you have those things, you will have more regulation. Now, most of the time, these organizations self-regulate. So they'll, look into it themselves and say, like, well, hold on, before the government does it, we'll go ahead and do it. And that's where we got, the NFLPA, the NBAPA, where you have these players associations that protect the players' rights.
Okay, that makes sense. So the lack of a players association in Overwatch is a problem, is what DOJ is saying, because whoever said something is like, yo, these companies are making, because the first year Overwatch League made like what, 90 million on that rights deal with Twitch. They made like 90 million on a deal with just exclusively streaming to Twitch. Then the next year they did like, I think 60 million for exclusively to YouTube. So you got Twitch once and got YouTube once. And I don't think they have exclusive rights with anybody this year, or unless they're finishing that YouTube deal. But it's like, they're making so much money and the players can't make money. I can't even think of the reason. In 2021, I can't think of the reason. I remember the old platitudes of like people can't make money so fast or whatever, but it's like,
yeah,
you guys.
To give you an idea, from what I can tell here, I looked it up, the salary cap per team for the Overwatch League was 1.6 million. Now, I don't know what the league is making overall. I don't know what teams are making overall, but to give you an idea, the NBA salary cap, and the NBA is not at the moment the most watched sport. It's close, but it's not the most watched sport. The Golden State Warriors have a salary cap of $168 million.
Okay.
Right. So if the Overwatch League is making tons of money, but they're only, the salary cap is at 1.6 million. If you're paying anyone, let's say 1.7, you're paying your teams 1.7, that team will be punished for having broken the salary cap, right? So they have a huge tax and they have to pay the league a whole bunch of money in order to sign anybody else.
Right.
But it's supposed to be based off of a proportion of your gross profits, right? So, or your net profits. So if you're making a ridiculous amount of money and you're putting that salary cap way low, then it's like, well, why aren't these players getting paid as much as they're supposed to be?
Right. It doesn't make sense. That's what I always felt like, was that, I'm a big preacher on this, and you guys probably heard me in the past, is like, I don't think these leagues are just going to do well at all for a long time. I don't think that Call of Duty or Overwatch League is going to be. I think it's a dope game. Overwatch specifically. Let me not go into Call of Duty. Same company, so I brought both up. I think the problems you'll see is that, these team investors aren't going to want to raise the salary cap that much anyway, if that makes any sense. Because they're not making a lot of money. That's what I think just the hardcore truth is that nobody wants to say, but I'll tell all of you, they're not making a lot of money. Do the hard math out. You don't have to be some genius or some qualified person to do basic math out. Cost you $20 million to have a team. $20 million to have a team. You would make money in any other league, traditionally, you'll make money off of merchandise, right? How many jerseys, how many hats, how many water bottles with your logo can you sell in a year? You'll make money off of tickets, right? How many people can come see you? How many seats can you fill? Repetitive times every year. You'll make money off of your players and their likeness, jerseys, right? So not just your team logo, not just the Dallas Heat or Dallas Fuel, not just Dallas Fuel mugs and hats and shirts, but the actual players of Dallas Fuel stuff. You want to utilize their likeness to make money. So it's 4 streams. And then, of course, you get your own team sponsorships and companies that want to be a part of that. 5 streams of income. What team in the Overwatch League, what team has made that kind of $20 million? Do some basic math. I don't care if you start at $5 a cup. I don't care if you talk about they do the skins in the game. One thing they said they were going to do is like people are going to get the skins. We have so many players, they're going to get your skins. You think they made $20 million off Dallas Fuel skins? Just be real.
It's just a licensing fee to have the team, not even the rest of the operating costs.
That's right. Exactly.
And a part of that is going to the league. Remember, every time you sell something is going to the league.
You're profit sharing. Right. You're not even taking the whole thing. So now you're profit sharing on something we know. I have not been walking around LA and seeing people wear the LA Overwatch team. There's two of them. And even one of them, I don't see anybody walking around wearing that Overwatch stuff. I see some people wearing Overwatch shirts, more character driven, more culture driven. I don't see them wearing the LA team's jerseys. I just don't. How about your city? How about where you guys are? You guys have the Florida Mutineers?
I've seen Houston Outlaws.
Okay,
before,
they're a bigger one. I've seen them around. They are a bigger one.
but that's it, man.
If you go into a bar, are you seeing those often? Have you started bumping into those? That's what I'm saying. And it's been 2 years, and it's not like it can't grow. But the problem with these leagues in general, why they're having a problem paying players more, because by now you would figure the player salary would increase. I'm pretty sure the salary is the same. This is probably why the DOJ is like, oh, it's been 3 years of this? That's why the guy who started the league, Nate Nanzer, he went to Epic. He left. Jeff Kaplan, who made Overwatch, he left. And it's because the culture. It's the culture that gets set. But to get back to the main point, I think that players should be paid on skill. Players should be paid on, I think each one of those teams is very unique. I think that, unlike traditional sports, the thing that makes gaming unique is you can plug up anywhere and play. So if I was in the the Florida Mutineers, and I saw companies like High Point Gamer, companies like Meta Arena, I'll be partnering with them as much as I can to grow my network, because we all could do gaming and grow it. I don't see none of that. They try to keep everything Overwatch League, Overwatch inside Overwatch, and that's just one game, and different than basketball, and different than football, and different than everything is genres. People who play For Honor is not checking for Overwatch. People who play Madden is not checking for Overwatch. You just gotta accept it. 2K, not checking for Overwatch. You see these? This is July 4th around my parts, okay? This is July 4th. All right? But that's how it's... What was more hype, that or Overwatch? That's what the problem is, and that's what the challenge is, right? And that's what I think you're seeing come out in the payments of the players and stuff, because they have the money. But if you're managing money right, because I don't think it's not profitable. And you're going to just keep seeing a downward trend in behavior. And the Department of Justice is just scratching the surface if they looked all through esports. Because, again, you look back at Fazed Clan. Sean, what do you think about everything you heard about Fazed Clan and Save the Kids coin? What legal ramifications are there for these kids, like Faze Kay and the people who were kind of taking up, people's money and just dipping?
It's tough because any business will have employees, and those employees can kind of act in a particular way. And unless there was some corporate approval of what they were doing, it's going to be hard to go after the main corporation, right? Because you have a particular number of people in the group that were promoting, these cryptocurrencies and essentially doing insider trading and then getting out right after everybody got their money in, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to leave and do it. So it's hard to say whether or not you're going to be able to go after Fazed Clan themselves. But I could see the SEC going after the people that did it, because at the end of the day, insider trading is insider trading, whether you do it in esports or do it in crypto or do it in whatever. So that, I just don't foresee there being much ramifications to the act, like to Fazed Clan in general, right, as opposed to the individuals who did it.
Okay, totally get that. I mean, in your opinion, is that how does it look on Fazed Clan? If you were legally guarding them, what would you be looking at right now based on what could happen with the bigger, and then we'll come down to the individual?
So for Fazed Clan in general, I'd say my goal would be to distance myself from those people as much as possible. I think that the apology they did was the start of that, but I foresee them probably also putting out a statement saying these are the things that we're trying to do to limit our employees' ability to do this in the future. Because the main thing you want to do as the company is say, hey, that's not us. I know that they have Faze in their name. I know that they are affiliated with us, but that's not what our company agrees with.
Right.
I think that's going to be the main thing. Because again, I don't think their lawyers are thinking, oh, we're going to have a lawsuit again, unless there's some documents or emails or something where these individuals asked the main company, hey, can we do this? And they said yes.
Right. Right. No, it was something they did on the side, so it is individual. But I guess my follow-up question to that is, again, I want to tell you, like I told the guys, like, you know, these kids are being followed and idolized because they get to use gaming and esports. If we look at it's very clear to me that they're using gaming as their way in. You know, and I've had, and this is personal, but I've had a personal gripe with the way they're ethically presenting themselves to the media, because it seems to me that they utilize the culture of what, you know, they see, and then they put it out there, and that goes into even how they select their talent, right? Because none of those guys are on that Sports Illustrated cover, right? They have the football players and the less attached to Fazed Clan people so that they can get those main things. But who's doing the vetting in that house to where people are coming in and, you know, the kid Jarvis has said the N-word before, you know, maliciously. And now that kid and another kid are, you know, stealing money from people. So now you're saying the N-word, you're stealing money from people. And what is it? Apology statement is just like, when we already know they're already culture vulturing. I guess what I'm asking is, does esports need a union or some type of regulation to investigate and get these things cleared up?
So I guess it's a two-part issue there, right? Because there's one part with the actual corporation, one part with the individuals. I think the problem with the individuals is that we have a toxicity issue in gaming, right? We've had it for a very long time. I just did a talk at GDC about it, and, you know, we discussed it, whether or not, you know, we want to look for certain things. So I think that's going to be the first issue we have to go with. The second thing that we need to worry about is, how are these, I agree with you, how are the companies vetting people? Because if they're not vetting people appropriately, then we have to worry about that.
Who are we to say how someone else should vet their brand and what they spend money on and put their name behind?
Well, I think what looks a good example of that, Derek, is like the LCS, right? Like, example of LCS is like they didn't let TSM, even though TSM and that crypto company just did the biggest deal we've seen. How much was that for, Marcus?
$210 million, 10-year deal.
$210 million for 10 years. Still ain't nothing touching that Amazon Twitch deal, huh? The Amazon Twitch deal is the biggest one ever, boy. Almost $1 billion.
And we have to worry about the FTC too, right? The FTC is out there. It's supposed to be making sure that this type of stuff doesn't happen.
Right. So we got $210 million for TSM, arguably one of the biggest teams in the space, right? We know, like, they're one of the bigger teams, and it don't matter if you're going from hopscotch to who runs faster in Crash Bandicoot to rock, paper, scissors. TSM, as far as the gaming space goes, you know them. You know the logo. You know they're retired players. They're around, okay? They didn't have the clout to tell the League Championship Series that we're changing our name from TSM to FTX for the next 10 years because our sponsor wants to get the kids to start knowing their crypto or whatever. LCS said, no, nobody can do that, you know? And there's regulation there. And there's regulation on how they play their players, and there's regulation on how people own it. So I think that you're right, and that's all Riot owned, Derek. I think you're right. Like, you can't tell a company, but I definitely think that there should be some kind of standard set to take care of the players, because it's like all that's going to do is history's going to repeat itself. The players are going to get the lease, and while the companies is making I mean, that's why they started the Players Association. The NBA was making like $12 billion a year. And then like they was playing the players out like $5 million total. They're like, this is great. What a great deal. What a great deal. And it seems like esports is, kind of repeating. And I also wonder, you guys know about the Dota International? And anybody out there watching, do you guys know about the Dota International? You guys know that tournament? You've heard of it?
That's the one with the $40 million crowdsourced prize pool.
Bruh, every year it keeps getting bigger. Every year. Like for the last 10 years. Because somebody, if one of you watching on LinkedIn, we got 10 on LinkedIn, 4 on Twitch, and 5 on YouTube. You guys right now, tell me, any of you, tell me if you've seen this league, because I've tuned in over the last like 7 years. They're doing it right. Is anybody tuned in and seen? They're doing it right. Their venues get better. Their events get better. Their production gets better. And they do it crowdfunded. They do it crowdfunded. Every year, it's up to 40 million. Damn. In 2010, it was only like 5 million. Now they're up to 40 million. 40, bruh. At that tournament, 32nd place gets enough to become a debutante in their state. 32nd place gets a ribbon to the city that they're from. Okay? They become somewhat of a local celebrity.
That's dope.
32nd place. And all it is the people they have a skin set in the game every year, and they take, what is it, like $10, and then they take 8 and put 2 in the pool. They get paid twice. They get paid twice. They get paid for making the skin. Then everybody plays to see who's going to get to the championship every year. The game 10, 12, it's what League of Legends came from. League of Legends is his son. Dota like, oh, that's good. League of Legends, that's cool. International. Why don't leagues base off of that? I mean, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, I always thought, NetherRealm, you guys just stop supporting the game. Why didn't you have tournaments where the prize pool could be based off of what the people put in? Everybody lives and eats off what they put in. Like, that would make it much more competitive for the talent. It would make it much better for the production, because you're going to have actual players who want to compete, not things like Faze Kay. And people like, what is he even good at? Do you know what he's good at? He got 1 million something followers. What is he good at?
Somebody get my dog off that bone, man.
I'm talking about man. And just ripping people off. Ripping them off.
Crypto, he's good at crypto.
Yeah, he's good at crypto. Ripping them off.
Is he?
Oh, is he? Oh, the world is changing in front of old Chosen's eyes. That's all that's happening. I just think that.
Now, Sean, you made a good point about toxicity in gaming. But the truth is, everybody can't be the happy-go-lucky, get-along gang of gamers like that.
I get that.
Someone has to be the asshole brand or the brand that breaks the rules, etc. Because there are people like that.
Yeah, and I mean, they'll follow them.
Right, exactly.
That's true. You know.
So then the people who followed and got scammed had it coming to them.
Hopefully that fifth real quick.
Sonic boom!
If you're one of those people and you're seeing this right now, I know it hurts.
Sonic boom!
I know it hurts.
Oh no.
You're in the corner. The pressure's real.
Sonic boom!
Jump, because here they come.
Sonic
Gems
boom!
that are hard.
Because you don't believe anyone on the outside, a random person, was able to benefit from what just happened. You think everybody on the outside lost and only the inside people won?
I think everybody lost, even the inside people. When you consider it was $30,000 for you having like 1 million subs and getting 1 million views a video, and you risked it all for that, yeah, and you was ripping them off. That's the difference. I'm very much believe in the concept of Robin Hood. Like, you know, hey, get from the rich, give to the poor. But like, this was like literally the opposite. It's like you literally being like, haha. And then they got proof. Like Marcus said, the blockchain makes the proof real.
Yeah, they took gacha game to a different level.
To a what? Boy,
It's like
bait
they
and
took that
switch.
Japanese word and said, "We're gonna make it English." Gotcha.
Gotcha. Save the kid. And then they did Save the Kids. They had to do something broad. So, Derek, maybe there were some schmucks who were like trying to get rich quick and got burned. But I feel bad for the people who thought they was doing the Save the Kids. You know, y'all, right before you met me, and some of you guys may know this from the past, I was involved with this cruise that was supposed to happen in 2017? The VGA.
2016, 2017.
It wasn't fire, was it?
No, but it was. Listen. I'm gonna bring it up. Y'all gotta see it. Everybody gotta see this. Was it the VGX Game Cruise? You gotta see it. If you see it, then you'll know. This is my last thing. Oh, I should have brought it up for the show. You gotta see it. If you see it, you'll see why this touches me close. And you're like, you won't get off that bone. Well,
Did they delete the tweets and delete the site as well?
they did, dude. Look, that's what I'm saying. I got shell shocked. I was like a part of this promotion for gaming cruise. It's all gone now. You're right, but man. So here's the deal. This guy comes out of nowhere. Goes, I'm friends with Damon John. I'm out of Queens. I got this connection, that connection. And I love everything you do with esports. I want you to be my esports director on this cruise. I'm like, a cruise? He's like, yeah, I've chartered a Royal Caribbean ship, and we are going to do the dopest gaming cruise anyone's ever seen. In fact, it's the first one. Also not true. But he was like, oh, well, it's the first one where I have the whole boat. It's chartered. They do one where they like book time on a boat. I have the chartered boat, okay? So first one ever. Boom. We go in the promotion. I'm out here putting my name on the line. I get people like Malik, right? Malik Forte, shout out to Malik. I get people like Keisha. I'm getting names. And he's putting them on the website. They're all there. They're dope profile pictures. Like, look at me. I'm a leader. And everybody's there. I got everybody fly. Oh, Sebastian's going to be crazy going on a cruise. And week after week, the show just keeps falling apart. It's like now people are calling Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean won't comment. They have nothing to say about it. Now people are. He said he had Delta, a deal with Delta, so everybody's flights down to Florida to leave was covered. Nobody had it. Meanwhile, he's been collecting $500 tickets the whole time, and the contract says when you sign it, as long as he doesn't say that there will be no future date, he can push it off as long as he wants and keep your money. Now, is he wrong? No, because he could do that. But I mean, you ain't taking my money. I don't care what nobody else is doing. You're not taking my money, and that's what I feel bad for because people thought they were going on a cruise. That's a bait and switch. People thought they was going to help kids. That was a bait and switch. You just got them money, and then there was some kind of thing where he could cancel it, and you only had to refund a certain percentage back and things like that. So I got shell shocked from that, and that's what this reeks of. And you know, I just think that there's probably more of that going on in Faze Clan. Like it's like more that where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Fazed Clan is huge.
Right.
There's just so many people in Fazed Clan. There's no way they're actually keeping tabs on any of them.
Right. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, it just seems like... And again, Sean, what I think those benefits will be of having regulations, having more than just having money to get in. Like, why didn't, Overwatch League, since we're crossing back and forth between Faze Clan and Overwatch really well, why didn't Faze Clan begin to, or why didn't Overwatch League, rather, like pick more investors than just you have $20 million to get in? I'm not saying they didn't. Obviously they didn't just say, oh, 20 million, you're in, you're good. I know they didn't do that. But what were the qualifications? Because Gary Vee being hype is not enough for people to want to watch Overwatch.
I mean, it's all going to come down to money, and I know some attorneys, I'm not going to say out names, but I know some attorneys who represent these teams, and I know it will be a fight. It will be a fight for there to be unionization. They do not want it. So I think it's going to be a long-term issue. And realistically, we have to worry about what's it going to do to esports as a whole, as opposed to, on a league-wide basis. And the issue, and where the issue comes in esports and why I know it's going to be difficult is each esport is its own separate thing, right? And on top of that, Like, no one owns basketball, right? Like, I could start a basketball league tomorrow,
Right.
but I can't start an Overwatch league tomorrow because someone owns Overwatch.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, if whatever is done isn't to their liking, they can just go, no, we're not going to do it.
Right.
And there's nothing anyone else can do about it.
And that's why they don't want unionization, because that would be in the rights of another party. In this case, the
It takes away their rights.
Right.
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Players. Yeah, man.
That's what I felt about the whole ecosystem over the the last couple of years that all of us having these conversations, especially since we started this podcast, is that esports wants to grow, esports wants to be acknowledged, but esports doesn't want to change. Right? It's like a toddler who wants to be treated as an adult, and I have some toddlers who want to be treated as adults, so I recognize what that looks like.
It's similar.
Right, but you got to eat your vegetables, and you gotta be mature. That's this ecosystem. Everyone, from the players to the teams, with the publishers not wanting to give away control, everyone has to mature and invest into this equally. You want it to be this NFL or NHL.
And again, what Derek said is not everybody is, life is about balance. Not everybody's going to do everything by the book. There's just going to be people who are going to try to get over or do whatever, right? Like, but my thing is like, we got to fight to at least make room for the good people. I don't got to get it done myself, but I got to make room for Sean. I don't got to get it done myself, but I got to make room for Marcus. I got to make room for Bubba. I got to make room for Adam. I got to make room for, Keisha. I got to make room for Red. I got to make room. And why it burns me up is because they ruin it for everybody. They ruin it because every conversation you have is going to be like, oh, that's that joint where now I know for a fact that things that didn't happen before, like, oh, Rick Fox, that was the racist thing inside his company, right? Oh, that was the Fazed Clan. The dudes who steal all the hip-hop culture and stuff, and then they steal the money from their people. Like, those are conversations that you have when you start talking to sponsors or players or whoever. It just makes the gaming thing look kind of wily, when if it wasn't that way, if more Marcuses were out there, if more Seans were out there, if more Dereks were out there, I know for a fact that people would get better products. And our ecosystem would all do better. But so many people, it was a perfect comparison. People don't want it to change. So we hope you want it to change. We hope you want it to change. That's what we want. We hope you want it to change and you don't want to stand for this stuff and do your own research. Maybe you've been involved in other ones. This one just brought light to the other ones. I had read or heard in the CoffeeZilla video that this is like Faze Kay's 5th pump and dump.
Yeah. FaZe Banks had one too.
Oh, boy. If I could ever have a conversation with somebody, it'd be FaZe Banks. I gotta tell you, I would need Sean there. I would need a glass of water and security there. But I would want to have a conversation with him. I mean, I just think that they steal culture. I think that they don't care how they do it. They want to be the most popular. And I don't think they're even like the 5th nicest team out, like of just skills. Like, it's just popularity. They're doing movies and entertainment, and that's cool. But just like, we're trying to build something that the youth beyond us can eat for life with. Gaming is a way that the average kids can get to that LeBron-esque lifestyle if we lay it out for them. It's electric sovereignty. You know what I'm talking about? Okay? It's electric sovereignty. And like, this kind of stuff messes up, and we hate to see that corporate greed. So Activision Blizzard, chill with the Overwatch stuff. Our legal counsel has even told us that's probably what you're getting searched from. We don't know exactly, but that's probably what's happening. Basically, long story short, it's just a big chill with y'all behavior. And let's all eat for life, y'all. Everybody else, what's going on for the week? Tell everybody. Marcus, we're going tomorrow. I'm going to jump first. I usually go last, but I'll go first this time. Marcus and I are going live tomorrow. I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to talk about LinkedIn. We're going to talk about how you get more, how you get more connections. We're going to talk about how you get more DMs, how those DMs can turn to leads, and how those leads can turn into real money for your pocket. Yes, we will show you. Okay? We know how to do it. We do it all the time. In fact, everybody in this room does it all the time. We're just going to show you so you don't think, LinkedIn, I don't have my resume up there. You don't know anything about it, and you sound crazy. You sound crazy because these gentlemen here will tell. I preach this all the time. Will y'all tell them real quick and then tell us about what you're doing? Well, you're probably gonna share on LinkedIn too, but can you tell them the power of LinkedIn? Oh, everybody watching this right now.
Even that last week on Wednesday, I got a chance to speak on behalf of the U.S. government, right? The U.S. Department of State, the International Visitors Leadership Program. I got recommended for that opportunity by someone who's been following me and my engagement with my content on LinkedIn.
For real. That's what I'm saying. The U.S. government. Hello. This is Marcus we talking about. A legend indeed. Derek, how about you?
And then for me, man, we're just continuing to grind. You know, we got a lot of work to do. Just keep going, bro. Good episode.
This is a major win for you, Derek. Congrats again on closing that deal.
Man. That's a big deal. Check out highpointgamer.com. Make sure y'all see what Derek's got going on coming up, because as you see, things are happening fast. So make sure you check out highpointgamer.com. And I'm trying to get to your piece. Sean, what do you have going up next?
Just work and probably do some streaming.
What are you gonna stream?
Some Mass Effect in there. Do some streaming.
What are you gonna stream? Mass Effect?
Probably. Yeah, I'm thinking Mass Effect. I'm on Mass Effect 2. I need to finish it.
Send me that link. I'll watch.
Okay.
I got some paperwork to do, some digital paperwork. And Marcus, how about you?
Last thing I'm working on this week is trying to close out the rest of the invites of folks who will be featured in the book. So Sean, I owe you and the team one. I think I sent one out to Derek and Sebastian. And then I got to book some studio time this week, later this week on another project I'm working on.
Okay, beautiful. Well, yeah, man, tomorrow 11 a.m., catch me and Marcus. The link is going to be in all y'all chats and everywhere you go. We're going to have it, so make sure you check us out tomorrow if you want to learn a little bit about LinkedIn. Thank you guys for checking us this week. Next week, I think we have Keisha Howard coming on. Is that right?
That's right, Keisha Howard.
We got Keisha Howard coming on the show, so no shortage of dope shows we've been giving y'all, man. So don't sleep on us. We're still here, still giving you the best gems in the game. Thank you for kicking it with us. Here goes that link for tomorrow. And it's good to see y'all, man. Make sure y'all stay up, stay focused. That's how we eat for life. Good to see you. I'll see you on the next one.